Warning! The following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on this show are reflective of AJ Orsini, the Steve Dave, and their guests exclusively. Seriously, guys, my dada and uncle say some pretty crazy stuff. If it offends you, go be butthurt somewhere else.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Minds, and now your host, AJ Orsini with Dave.
Hey. I love it. How the hell is everybody out there? It's your boys once again with another episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and I am back on track. This is episode 306. I have the numbers now because I have been editing like a goddamn madman. And of course, do not let the question mark fool you. Dave, are you with us?
Yes.
You okay? Oh, hey, relax, dude. The women can only handle.
You'll get
so
used
much.
to it eventually.
the women can only handle but so much. By the way, I received a message. He's probably listening to this. I got a message from Mr. Joe Pombo. He said, "So glad you upped your bro's mic. So much better. No longer doing this." And it's a gif of an old man just tossing his fucking headset out of pure anger. So the smooth, silky sounds of Deceived Dave shakes the airways today. I was going through an emotional moment before we went on the air. Little anger. A little sadness, only to be mocked by you, of course, because my feelings mean nothing to you or to anybody else in this fucking world. But I am indeed immersed. It has been a long time since your boy, AJ Orsini, has followed the great sport of basketball, but I will not lie. This particular season, toward the end of the season, I should say, the build to the postseason kind of snatched me. And the postseason itself has kind of snatched me. So your boy has got the ticker in front of him as we speak. He's kind of getting into it. And
There's any bets?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm open to the idea. Considering I got I got a couple of dudes actually at the job. They're trying to get a pot going because whatchamacallit, this particular, I'm not gonna get into the specifics, but my team is the Knicks. I've been a Knicks fan for a long time, especially since I was a kid. I've always been a Knicks guy. Love it or hate it. They haven't really been all that spectacular for a number of years, but they are the goddamn Knicks. And we had a great first round against the Pistons. I know people are going to say, "Wow, what a tough team," and they were, but we got them. We beat them. We beat them in 6, and now we're taking on the defending world champions, the Boston Celtics, and we snuck in a win. We snuck it. We went into Boston and we snuck one in on them, and we're up 1-0. And I'm pissed because today's an off day. We're not playing them again until tomorrow, and I'm mad because we had all the momentum. We turned all the momentum onto our side.
Or are you going home?
No, we're in Boston. We were in Boston yesterday. We're in Boston again. Game 1 and 2. We're giving these motherfuckers a chance to regroup, and I don't like that at all.
Watch the tapes.
Yeah. They're trying to figure what did we do wrong, and how could we not let these motherfuckers do it to us again? But as excited as I am for my own team, it's the series over on the West that has me the most intrigued. I'm not going to let Denver fool me at all. The Thunder will thump the Nuggets, that's for sure. They'll get to the Western Conference. But I'm keeping an eye on the Timberwolves and the Warriors because the Warriors are feeling great right now. They just beat those big bad bullies over in Houston. But Ant-Man over in Minnesota has a bone to pick with these Warriors. He called it at the beginning of the season. What I want to do is get to the postseason and face the Warriors, so he's got it. This motherfucker has an itch that needs scratching, and he's going to scratch the fuck out of the goddamn Golden State Warriors. And it's going to be fantastical. I can't wait for that dream-killing, sharp-shooting Steph Curry to get a spoonful of humble medicine. And, of course, for that...
what you wish for.
Yeah, and that... you know what? I don't even have a problem with Steph. I say all that stuff in respect because he is a fucking deadly motherfucker. But the person I can't stand is that chocolatey-ass Draymond Green. Fuck that motherfucker to death. To death. He is an unlocked character. He's a shadow in the world of basketball, and he is just looming over people with elbows and fists and kicks. He palm strikes motherfuckers in the face, and the referee blow the whistle and he puts his arms up. What did I do? But what did I do? Oh, I don't know. The 5 strike points to his chest that made him shit himself? You goddamn idiot. I'm not a fan of that individual at all whatsoever. But that's why, that's what was going on in my head. But we're not here to talk about the basketball today.
Thank God.
We are here. Hey, once upon a time, in your youth,
never. No one even suggested.
You would
never.
sit through it. We would have it on.
No, wait, no.
And we played the games, NBA Jam. You know,
sure.
A little bit of the live from the old live, where like you would get a rebound and the camera would like turn all.
I was
the way
never
around.
a basketball guy ever. I always sucked at it, and I didn't like watching it.
You didn't like watching it because you sucked at it, or you never really.
I don't know. Maybe I've never put the two together.
I mean, you sat through a few Michael Jordan games. I was
a football guy.
Football
Anything
guy.
I sat through at that time, I was literally sitting through. I had no control.
But yeah, I definitely associate you more with football for sure. But I just, it's a thing. It's a whole thing. Don't worry, you're not alone because every time I have it on over here in my bedroom, my wife instantly changes it. So it's not a whole. That's why it's on my phone right now, in fear of the wife changing the fucking. Yeah, I found the loophole. You can't turn this shit off. Fuck you. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We are here to talk about a few other topics. In fact, let's talk about what it is that's going to be on the show.
Come on, don't keep us waiting. What's going to happen on the show today?
On the show today, we are going to be paying homage, paying respects to those out there who do the edumacating. It has, as we record today, May 6th, today is Teacher Appreciation Day. I have some insights on that, obviously. And, of course, this is Teacher Appreciation Week. The good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to go over that just a little bit, share some memories, share some stories. We are also talking about something that made the news wire earlier this week. I'm genuinely curious because, as everyone here knows, my video game experience is very, very limited. I obviously go to you for most of it, but I do have some history with this one. So I was genuinely curious how you felt. Get a conversation started about this new news coming out about GTA 6. This has been making the news over and over again, for the good, for the bad. What the hell's taking so long? Damn, it looks good. It's a little up in the air. It's a little both. We'll talk about that a little bit more in detail. Also, Thunderbolts hit the movie theaters this weekend. I had the privilege of going this weekend to see it live and in person, and it's getting a lot of positive reviews. It's a dope movie. I don't really know anybody who has seen it who didn't like it. At the same time, the conversation is happening yet again, and I don't know how we're going to attack it. We'll see. But this is the reason why I'm bringing it up this time for this specific movie is because they're doing something extremely unique with their marketing. They marketed the movie one way as it was coming up to the opening date. Now it's been a few days and they have completely changed the marketing. And the marketing is being described as a tremendous spoiler for the film. We'll get more into that a little later. We'll get a little later. But we also are going to be discussing something that I had a very, very heated debate with an individual who is about my age. So we both grew up in the same kind of time span. So we experienced both eras. But there seems to be some debate between me and a few other people concerning the Ruthless Aggression Era and the Attitude Era. And the conversation being that my friend thinks the Attitude Era was the best era. There's no competition. It's not even close. And I quietly chimed in and said, hey, I think the Ruthless Aggression Era is actually better than the Attitude Era. And after he threatened my life and the life of my family, we had an actual discourse. And I'd like to bring it to the table of conversation with you guys. And also for our main event today, something special. I can't wait. We're bringing back the watch along. This coming weekend, I know it's Mother's Day weekend, but Saturday, WWE is putting together another pay-per-view or PLE, whatever, Backlash. And it will be the last time that we're going to get a chance, I should say, to see John Cena versus Randy Orton. And I know Randy Orton is still a full-time guy, but this is two people who, quite frankly, are past their prime, reliving one last go-around for the goodbye run. So the watch-along today will actually be from one of their best matches of their rivalry, which is a long-standing rivalry. We're going back to SummerSlam 2007, the battle between John Cena and Randy Orton, pre-Orange and Tan Menace 09 Randy Orton, and pre-Golden Shovel John Cena. They're both made men, both main eventers at this point, but young, in their prime, hungry, putting on a great show, one of their better matches, and we're going to put up together a watch-along for that. So let's go ahead. Let's get this started. We got a bunch of shit we need to get to, so let's go ahead and start with our first segment.
Let's begin segment 1.
Segment 1 is going to begin, of course, with our love/hatred for teachers. Now, I want to start this thing off by asking you. Because I don't want to come off as biased, right? I don't want to come off like, here comes the high horse. But as someone who's not in the education field, what were your experiences, for good and for bad? Do you have any teachers that you have any good memories with? By that sound, I was going to say you probably have a bunch of non-good memories, but you got one.
I fucking hate teachers. The fact that you married one and became one yourself is fucking crazy to me. Fucking hate teachers.
But talk to me about the one teacher that you do actually have a memory of. Like, what was the subject? How did you know this person?
It was physics.
Physics. So this is later. This is high school.
Yep. Physics. And the only reason why I liked her so much wasn't necessarily like the class. The class was cool, but she was just like she always seemed like she was like, what drug makes you happy?
Oh, like Prozac or something?
I don't know. She was on something, man.
She was on some shit.
She was really tiny, older white lady, but she had that like really high pitch, aggressively
voice?
Happy giggle.
Oh.
And she would do it a lot, and she just was really cute with it. I don't know. She was just a cool teacher. She always very positive, never really a jerk. If you fucked up, she had a weird way of like helping you out, but also kind of making you feel like, you fucked that up and you need to do the work in a way where I don't know. She's kind of like put it on you. Like, if you don't get it done, then, you're just going to fail. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But I always kind of, like, if I didn't do my work, I actually felt like it was my fault. She had a good way of doing that.
Making you accountable for your own shit?
Yeah, making you accountable. There you go. But she didn't do it in, like, a douchey way. It was more like she would get serious for a second and then just go back to being bubbly. So I was like, oh, wait, am I the asshole? I think I'm the asshole here. So.
Am I? Am I the asshole?
Yeah, exactly. Fuck, I probably should have did that.
Yeah. Well, do you remember her name?
Every other teacher sucks ass.
Do you remember her name?
No, dude, no, not at all. I couldn't remember. I want to say it was weirdly enough. I know it's a very, very, very white lady. I feel
it was a very white lady,
but I feel like it was like Miss Johnson or something.
Oh, despite the whiteness, it was a
That's why.
That's why it stood out.
I feel like that's what it was, but I could be completely wrong. I can't remember.
Oh my God! What you had more experiences with not so good teachers. What was like the most consistent? Like, what was the common denominator between all these shitty teachers? What was it that made them all so bad? Like, what was the one quality they all shared that was besides like was a straight douchebags that just had poor attitudes? Like, what are we like? What kind of bad
ego? If I look at it in hindsight, it's ego.
Oh, power trip! Like, do as I say.
I wasn't the baby for that. I wasn't the kid for that. I contest ego very proudly at that age. So, yeah, I'm sure if you ask them, I was also a terror. So, I mean, I think the feeling is mutual, but
mutual hatred.
Yeah. I'm sure they hated me just as much.
So let me ask you this. You survived, right? You got through all that stuff, high school diploma, you made it through. How does this affect you now in father mode? Because now your daughter is starting the early processes of actually going to a facility with these other people. But does your experience, do you think that's going to affect you when you start getting into higher, like, kindergarten, first grade, third grade? Now we're doing like real school stuff, and you're meeting teachers, and you're doing for her, yeah. Like, are you?
I don't know. We're not there yet.
I know you're not there yet, but like, do you?
No. I mean, we're not there as in like I don't know if she's going to a public school yet or not. Well, I'm not sure.
Public's not the real issue. I mean, any school she goes to, she's going to have teachers.
Yeah, well, I'm still broke for. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, as far as that goes, I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm self-aware, so I know as a child I could have handled things better,
right?
And I would have gotten better outcomes for myself. Like, I understand that. So with me, it's going to be tough because obviously with kids, you need to teach them to respect authority, regardless if you
agree or not.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't just be out here being ruthless. So, like, regardless if you like it or not, you got to get your shit done and get the fuck out of there. Essentially, is what I'm going to try to lead with. Like, you hate this. I know you hate this person. You think there's a target on your back. Shut the fuck up. Do the work and get the fuck out of there. Like, that's my mindset to it. Because if she comes to me and be like, I don't like this lady, I think she doesn't like me, or whatever the case may be, me personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
Right.
That the teacher is a piece of shit. But I can't just teach her to take anything and make it someone else's problem but not her own fucking problem. So to answer the question, I don't change my stance when it comes to her, but as the parent, I can't lead with how I would react. I need to be able to assess and teach her how to do the same thing. So it's going to be like walking her through it with, hey, listen, you're right. She's probably an asshole, but like,
you're right. Listen, she's probably an asshole.
You need to learn to find a way to make your life easier instead of contesting everything stupid that someone says.
Right.
So that's how I'm going to try to approach it. Let's see how that fucking works for me.
It's trial and error. Let's see how it goes. I think your reaction to it is going to be based on performance, because I think that's what happened to us. Right? So, like, Alex is in 4th grade now. And for years, he had what I would consider to be really good and effective teachers. We didn't really have much of an issue with the teachers that he's had. And then in 4th grade, we got introduced to 2 teachers that he's had all year. We're in May now. That are just really, really bad at teaching. And I don't mean in a sense like, I'm not trying to disrespect them as people. I don't know them as people, but in a classroom setting, teaching with kids, they're not good at it. And it's very frustrating because we as a household, we're educators. My wife's a teacher. I'm a teacher. And so he doesn't need to be in that building to get the education that he needs. What frustrates us sometimes is that he has friends that he goes to school with, that he hangs out with outside of school. So when that happens, we're meeting their parents. We're hanging out with their parents. Parents and parents hanging out together while the kids play. And you hear a lot of the same complaints. You know, he's failing this, or he's not doing so well in that, or she's not doing so good in this, or blah, blah. And they don't know how to fix that. They don't have the training to fix that. They don't know the questions they should be asking. They don't know how to supplement the kid while at home when he's not at school. They're just regular people. For the most part, everyone who graduates high school or college and then does work in a field that's not in education, they lose those tools because you forget what it's like to be in a classroom. And even if you could remember, it's a completely different classroom. I'm 42 years old. I haven't been in a classroom setting as a student in 20-something years. We didn't have smart boards, iPads, laptops, and all that garbage when I was in school. So my classroom setting when I was a kid is different. So when we had him, my wife, who has been, she went from high school graduate to college, where she got training in the classroom, and then out of college back into the classroom. She never skipped a beat. She's been in a classroom since she was 5. And so she grew with the times, so she knows exactly how this is supposed to look, how this is supposed to go. So for us, we get triggered very easily in our current situation because my wife, when my son just finished today state testing. There's 2 days last week, 2 days this week, right? That classroom does not have any parents that conduct state testing. She does. She does do it. So when she asks for scores or when they do assessments on him and they're doing a reading assessment or a math assessment or they're taking this math growth assessment or whatever the case it is, you say teachers use that jargon against parents to give the parents a sense of effort, right? Well, we're using this program and he's going to be reading this and he's supposed to be on this level and he's reaching this level. So, and then the parents go, oh, look at me. I'm raising a kid who's on level, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, that level could be dirt low and you don't know. She knows. So she never asks the teacher, how is he doing? She goes, can I see the results of the test? And they always, I don't even know why they're surprised at this point because we've been to school for 5 years, but she does it every time. You guys can give me your opinion on how he's behaving in class. That's fine. I want to see the test results. I want to see the math. I want to see the screen. The one with the little line that goes either up or down. I want to know what level he's supposed to be at. I want to know this. I want to know that. So for us, we have kind of an inside track. So we react very poorly toward these teachers sometimes when we do these report cards because they'll tell us what he's weak in, but they won't tell us what their plan is to strengthen his weakness. They'll just go, well, like for instance, 2 report cards ago, he was having an issue with in writing class. He's not being very clear. He's rambling on, all this different stuff. Okay, cool. What's the plan to fix it? Well, we're going to do this, this, and this, which is bullshit. We know what this is because that's what other teachers at our school tell their fucking parents. We know that means nothing. No. In the classroom, when you sit with him, what's the fucking game plan? Don't tell me you're going to have him watch a video or something like what's the actual plan? And they won't have one. So Steph had to come up with one. And then his report card jumped up. And, they score him 1, 2, 3, 4. He was a 4 for years. And then all of a sudden he was a 2 in writing at the beginning of the year. When the next report card came, he was back to a 4. And they really did try to take credit for it. They really did. And my son was like, no. And my wife was like, no. But you're welcome, though. We'll give you that one. See, for me, when I was a kid, just like you, I didn't really have a lot of experiences with very good teachers. I had one teacher that I really, really liked, just like you, one teacher. And I don't remember what his last name was because he never gave us his last name. We always just called him Doug. Because that's what he
already starting off good.
Yeah, his name was Doug.
Just call me Doug.
And I have a picture of Doug in my hallway. I have a collage of pictures in my hallway in my apartment with all my family and stuff like that. You're up there, like a bunch of people are on my wall. And Doug's up there in my little graduation hat, my graduation gown and stuff like that because he was one of my favorite teachers. I got a picture with him. He was my computer teacher. He's the reason that I am a tech to this day because he's the one that showed me the ins and the outs, the motherboards, the hard drives, the SCSIs, all that stuff, taking it apart, putting it together. When I was in his class, we had floppy disks. That's how old I am, how far back we go. He was also the one who taught us how to play Doom on the computer.
What a guy.
Yeah, this guy, his guy was all encompassing. And if you want to make it seem even more badass, he was doing this computer shit, the teaching shit on the side. He was a retired Air Force pilot and a captain. Not just any pilot. He was the motherfucking captain. He's the lead plane. He's the one who moved that little thing over. Night one, move it to the corner, please. He was calling the fucking shots. He used to come in and he used to bring Polaroids in and he would show us him with the plane and him and his buddies. He had a couple of pictures of him in the air. They took Polaroids while they were in the air. Fucking awesome. Doug was the fucking man. And after Doug, nothing. Now, I'm pretty sure by now Doug is gone because he was old when I knew him. And that was like 30-something years ago. The next best teacher is obviously, to me, it's my wife. I've never seen anybody do what she does under the fucking circumstances that she does it. It's fucking amazing. And physically, like the way that the kids physically cause problems in that classroom, it's almost like, you ever seen those movies where the kids are in detention centers or whatever, but they still, like they're in juvie, but they still have to go to class? So there's like a fight every 2 seconds with bars on the windows. That's the kind of situation. She's out here being a freedom rider like Hilary Swank. It's fucking crazy. She's Michelle Pfeiffer in Gangsta's Paradise. It's fucking nuts. But yeah, so when I was doing so many odd jobs here and there, and I finally got lumped into doing the school thing because it was a really good schedule. It allowed me to get my weekends. I was able to do more wrestling shows. That was like the whole point. And it just stumbled onto, I just progressed into being an actual teacher myself. Other than that, it was a whole money thing. But I see, that's my side of it now, because I grew up just like you. I hated teachers. And as a matter of fact, this is between me and you in the audience. Sometimes me and the missus would get physical. I give her to a little extra to get back at the teachers from back in the day. Give her a little bit more oomph, just a little bit, a little payback to the past. I'll show these teachers, by God.
Mm-hmm.
And so being on the other side of it now, like that's stuff that I kind of take into consideration when I'm in a classroom, the way that teachers made me feel. So like I try to go the other way, but within reason. Because if you're too cuddly, if you're too happy, if you're too, hey, bro, like chill, then they'll take it and fucking run with it like crazy. So you got to give them like the right amount of dosage of both. You got to give them a little shut the fuck up, but along with, speak your mind. Like there's a fine line like right in the middle there somewhere. I've been doing it long enough now to finally find it. Also, I have a much easier job because I'm PE. I'm Jim. I'm the fun class. She's got to sit there with a book with mathematics and language arts like a loser. Not me. We do physical activity in my goddamn class. But the problem is I get students that think gym is recess, which I can't have. I actually have to do stuff in my class. We have to practice actual skills and do actual shit. And so sometimes that could fuck up the flow of things because they coming down there, especially if I got them like after lunch. They high on shit. They just ate. They just got their snack in. They ready to fucking rock. And I'm like, yeah, everyone have a seat. Watch as I show you the intricate skills of a field goal kick or some stupid shit. They're like, oh.
They're not old enough to have that itis side effect. They actually,
they
actually respond to food like they're supposed to and like, get energy.
Energy, fuel. These motherfuckers are ready to go. I have, it's one of two ways. I either have a classroom full of people who just want to run around all fucking day, or a classroom full of kids who I just want my iPad and that's it. Just leave me alone. I'm not fucking with you. Don't fuck with me. We're good. Just let me know when the bus is here so I can go home. That's it. That's all I want to do. So that's what that is there. So I wanted to take a moment out, show some appreciation to all those out there who are in the trenches.
Those teachers.
In the trenches. Out here dealing with the children's.
Fuck them.
Hey, look, I work with a bunch of them, and I say fuck them. You know how many people I work with where I go, you fucking suck at this. You are fucking terrible. You're a horrible human being. You shouldn't even be in here. I'm about to message all your parents and be like, yo, pull him out of here right now.
You know what it is for me when it comes to like teachers and even care providers? I know this is going to seem very unfair. Huh?
You're lumping them all together. Okay.
Well, this take is for both of them is because my take on this, I know is probably a lot of people wouldn't have the same take, but if you're someone who doesn't have high level patience, you shouldn't be in that job.
100%.
You shouldn't fucking be
100%. I don't think
like,
you're going to be alone in that thought process. I think you're going to find people in the industry who agree with you. The problem
is that I have very little sympathy for them in that manner where it's like, oh, well, you know, it's a very stressful job. They lost their cool. Like, to me, I don't think you're allowed to lose your cool.
No.
And I get me wrong. I know that's a very hot take and it's very unfair, but I don't think that it's like the same thing with like being a cop or something like that. It's like it's tough. I understand, but like you're one of the few people in a very particular career that like you're not allowed the mistake because something bad happens if you do. Like you just got to be a master at coping and being able to handle the situation. And I think it's the exact opposite where like it's to the point where people just lose their cool so obviously. Mm-hmm. And then you see all these people comments and like, oh, it's so hard and give them a break. Like, what would you do in that situation? I'm not putting myself there because I know kids are fucking terrible and I will fucking go to jail so quick.
I don't think you're alone in that thought process at all. I could find you many people who are in schools right now who would love to be rid of certain coworkers because of that exact same thing. Because it's a cascading effect, right? So not only if children as a whole are, no matter how much they know or no matter how much knowledge they've accumulated in a short amount of time, they're still blank canvases to a degree. Meaning when you blow your stack, that's a memory they're going to have forever. Yep. Of that one time that one teacher blew his fucking stack and put his hands on me or yelled at me or made me feel like shit or whatever the case may be. And that kind of shapes that helps shapes that individual. That's why some parents, sometimes when you have kids and you give them everything that they need and you're raising them all right, and you're raising them good, and they get all the way up to about age 11 or 12 and they're a certain way, and then all of a sudden something shifts. It's usually some shit that happened at school. Because let's be honest, you spend more time at school than more than any other place with the exception of maybe your own home, and even that's close. You're spending a lot of time in school in your youth. So your teacher, your classmates, these are people that are a part of your circle whether you want them or not. So when you lose your fucking cool or you lose your shit or I'm tired of repeating myself, but that's the point. That's where you are, a place where you're supposed to repeat yourself. He doesn't have it fucking committed to memory yet. If he did, you wouldn't have to fucking repeat yourself. Like, that's sometimes one of the things that we have to remind. Like, people say, okay, he lost his shit, he snapped on a student, okay, he's human. Okay, but the job isn't for you to be in a human state. You were literally chosen and hired to be in this position because this individual needs more help than the average individual. Okay? If you're a college professor and you got a 38-year-old in your classroom who's fucking up and all of a sudden you want to be real, right? Like, look, dude, I mean, how many like to a degree it's still unprofessional, but I have an understanding of why, because you're holding this 38-year-old to a higher level of standard. Like, you've lived life, my guy. You 40. This is you either got this or you don't. But when you take,
I mean, clearly he doesn't. Yeah. He's there at 40.
When you take the 8-year-old across the table and you start getting on his ass about shit, I feel less sympathy for you at that point because he's 8. I understand it's very frustrating. You've said this shit 6 times. I understand.
And it's even worse because they don't get paid well, or as well as I think they should get paid. Not to say that they get for what they do. Yeah. A lot of them do get very poorly. So I want to be careful how I say that.
Well, I mean,
they're not like getting $10 an hour.
Word,
but,
yeah.
I mean, what they
we're
have
not
to
getting peanuts for sure. Yeah,
right. But I fucking lost my point. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, I was just gonna say that people outside of the education bubble got a very nice dose of what it's like to sit with that fucking kid for several hours during the pandemic.
Thank you. You just reminded me. Yes. And the hardest part that I do sympathize with, and it's very difficult for me to be in my own mental mind state and how I handle situations, which I understand is unique. I'm very patient when it comes to certain things, especially in like high tense situations where you snap. I like try to, keep my cool as best I can. The one thing I do have sympathy with is the fact that the one person that is supposed to be on your side to help usually can be the problem, and that's the parents.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to communicate some of this shit and they're like, well, what he do? Well, he's jumping around. Why are you jumping around? He's just then starts smacking him and shit. Was like, ma'am, listen, you think you're disciplining him, but all you're doing is pissing him off and then sending him to me. Yeah. I don't have the authority that you have. So if he doesn't respect you, he's not going to fucking respect me.
Yep.
So that I do feel bad that they have to deal with shit like that. Like I wish most parents were a little more understanding, but that's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
an asshole too. So.
Yeah, I got parents who couldn't give less of a shit about what's happening at school. We're a daycare center to them. They drop their kid off, they can go live their lives, do all their errands, all that shit, and then they come and they pick them up later. And then we have others who are really, really, really involved and really, really, really want to do all the right things, and they want to be there for everything, and they want to make sure he's doing the best, but they don't know what that encompasses or what it means. So it's a very mixed bag. So you try to be encompassing for everybody. Some parents I gotta talk to like I would my homie on the block, and then there's other parents where I gotta give them all the literal terms and what this means and what that, where he's meeting standards here, but he's below average here, and then we're gonna do this, and I'll use the fitness gram in order to do right? So like it varies. You just gotta figure out how you're able to communicate. Steph has a smaller classroom, so she only has a finite number of parents that she has to talk to, right? Because she doesn't have like 30, 40 kids in a room. Her particular situation, she has less kids. But those are the parents she has to deal with. I am attached to every classroom on the floor, so I have multiple sets of parents that I have to at some point. Like for me, report cards are a pain in the ass. Because I got well over 100 kids that I got to put in grades for. And then after you put in the report card grades, you have to have a report card meeting with any parent that wishes to discuss it or have questions about it. We put out this thing where people can either call us or hit us up on Class Dojo or whatever the case may be. I'm not big on the calls. Please send me messages. I will call those who want to. Sometimes I have kids who don't have parents. They have like the grandparents. So they're not really good with the tech stuff, so I got to call them. How's Charles doing? He's doing fine, ma'am. Oh, okay. I told my baby, I said, listen in class or I'm going to whoop that ass. I said, okay, he's doing good. Please don't whoop his ass. He's all right. Like having one of those conversations, or this has happened to me, especially recently. I have parents that don't speak English. So what happens is that I got to go to Class Dojo to message them, but I got to use Google Translate to type in my messages and then copy and paste that. And then I got to copy and paste their response and put that in Google Translate. And I don't mean like just Spanish. There's people who speak like Hindu and all kinds of, what was the one from, he was from Albania. So like Google Translate is like a godsend because they got all those languages on there. And it's not a perfect translation, but they get the idea.
Get the gist of it.
They get the gist of it, yeah. So that's what helps us out. So shout out to all those out there doing their thing. Keep on trucking. If you are shitty at what you do, as my brother stated, and I'm going to go ahead and second that, get the fuck out and leave room for the rest of us. We got kids to mold over here, motherfuckers. I don't have time to be sitting here cleaning up your fucking mess.
Yeah, don't talk to my kid like an adult, or we're gonna have a fucking problem.
Yeah,
That's all I gotta say.
You know how many kids? It goes both ways. I've seen teachers who teach first, second, third grade, something like that, and they'll work with the kid, and the kid will be great, and the kid will be like on it, does their job, and then they leave you, and they go into higher grades where they meet other teachers, and then those teachers fuck them up. And don't do a good job. And when they were with you, they were an angel. And now with them, they're getting arrested and they're getting expelled and all kinds. He's like, what the fuck happened? What did you do? And I've seen it reversed, where teachers teach 1, 2, 3, and they do a shitty job. And they get to 4th grade and they can't read for shit. They can't write for shit. And you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? So you're a 4th grade teacher giving kindergarten level, 1st grade level shit to a student, and you have standards you have to meet. So now it's like, what the fuck? And then you look at the other teacher like, what the fuck are you doing? What was you, SpongeBobbing all fucking day? He's got those lines memorized. But he can't read fucking C-Spot Run? What's the matter with you? So, so like I said, if you're doing a great job, if you're doing your thing, I appreciate you. If you're not doing your thing, get the fuck out. You're making it difficult for the rest of us. Please fucking move. Go on about your business. Go be unhappy somewhere else. Because a bunch of motherfuckers jump into this position because of the goddamn schedule. They love the schedule. No nights, no weekends. I get holidays, Christmas for a week, April in a week. Yeah, sign me up. Fuck you. Do the work. And then, then we can talk about you having some time off. Jesus Christ.
Bars.
Yeah, that's a truth rant. Off to the next segment.
Next up, segment 2.
Segment 2 takes us to GTA 6. Now, I learned something today, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. I learned this. I got curious about something, and I looked it up. I said, did you know that when it comes to video game franchises, that Grand Theft Auto, as a franchise, is the 5th highest selling video game franchise of all time? Did you know that?
I believe it.
You believe it?
Yeah.
I looked it up.
Behind things like sports games, I would imagine, if I'm guessing.
No, not a single sports game on here. I mean, there are sports games on the list, not above Grand Theft Auto. The
Really?
four that are, well, let me start with Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto first released the first game November 28, 1997 as a collective, 1 through 5. They have sold 440 million copies of Grand Theft Auto. With Grand Theft Auto 5, the previous game that they released, as what is the second best-selling video game of all time, around 210 million copies shipped.
I believe it.
Which is probably why they're so thirsty over this goddamn 6th. Let me give you the 4 franchises that are above it. Pokemon at 4, with its first release.
Oh, you said franchise. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, with its first release February 27th, 1996, at 480 million, which is only 40 million above Grand Theft Auto. The Call of Duty series. At number 3, October 29th, 2003, its first release, 500 mil. Tetris, first release January 27th, 1988, 520 million total. It breaks it down by mobile game, physical sales, all that stuff, but for the most part. And then the number 1 selling franchise of all time by a lot, because this was 909 million, is the Mario franchise. Super Mario, Mario Kart, Mario Party. It's clearly number 1. July 9th, 1981. But that is the company that it's in, because after Grand Theft Auto, in 6th place is Minecraft at 350. So we're talking about almost 100 million less, and it just goes down from there. There's FIFA at number 7. So it only goes down from there. So Grand Theft Auto isn't just some random-ass bullshit game that has some hype behind it. This is an all-timer. This is an all-time franchise, and I know this is the one. I'm looking at this list, obviously, besides Mario and Tetris. Like, I've never really played Call of Duty, never really played Pokemon. I've sat through a whole bunch of Minecraft, but I've never really done much of Minecraft. FIFA, no, not really. There's not a lot of gaming experience I have with any of these, but Grand Theft Auto was a fucking game, specifically 3, that I played fucking relentlessly. I played day and fucking night. I bought it on my PSP when that was a thing, and I was rocking that in my security booth for years. I know you're a big Final Fantasy guy, but where does GTA rank with you as far as like some of your memories? How high on the list is that for you, Grand Theft Auto, as a franchise?
It was definitely my prime PlayStation memory.
Oh,
for sure.
okay.
Was it Grand Theft Auto 3? I think it was 3.
I think it was 3. Yeah.
I think it was 3. But yeah, I mean, I have good memories with it. Like I didn't continue with it. I was more of like an RPG person, but I had a lot. It was, I mean, how old was I when I got that? Like, obviously, that's going to be fun. Like, I probably shouldn't have not been playing that game, but I very much was, and it was. I remember having a lot of fun with it. So, it was awesome.
October 22nd, 2001. That was the release of Grand Theft Auto 3. You were about 14, so this was hitting you right at the right time.
You know, it's even crazier. I was working at IKEA, and there was a younger kid who started working there, and cool kid. And I forget how it came up, but I made a reference, and he was just looked at me, and I'm like, Grand Theft Auto? Oh, he's like, oh, like, I feel like even the younger kids, I think the more nostalgic one for them is Vice City.
Yes.
But I was like, no, not Vice City. Grand Theft Auto 3. And he's like, I was like, the guy with the leather jacket and like the khaki pants with the, he's like, I have no clue what you're talking about. I'm like, dude, how old are you? And he told me, I forget the age, and I'm like, what year is that? And I looked it up, and the dude was like not even born when the game came out. I was like,
Jesus.
wait. Or he was like, not that he wasn't born, he was probably like 3 or something like that, like very fucking young. I'm like, dude, are you like, I'm fucking old.
Yeah, like the ones you hear now when you bring up GTA, people bring up Vice City.
I think Vice City,
San
even
Andreas.
at the youngest, is the throwback that everybody remembers.
Yeah,
is Vice City.
I hear a lot about San Andreas.
Yes, that's the other one too.
Yeah, people
San
bring
Andreas.
up San Andreas to me.
What I've been talking about.
Didn't they release one for Liberty City, like specifically just about Liberty City? So they've had their spin-offs, they've had their things. 5, I didn't realize. I guess
that's a big one.
5 was a lot bigger than I thought it was. I didn't realize it was that
5
big.
is when that's the the last one is when they finally adopted the online play, and that it completely exploded Grand Theft Auto. Like it took it to a whole new level. Being able to go on heists with your friends to make money, and like you can organize crime and not go to jail on that game. Essentially what it was. And then the mods and everything, that it was like an adult. No, I don't want to say that because I don't know if it's, I was gonna say it's like an adult Minecraft. Not so much with like building, but like with the mods and stuff you can put in it. People were doing all kinds of crazy shit with that game.
Mm-hmm. So they started talking about GTA 6 a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
a long time ago, and I think they did. Is there a good chance that they did that immediately, like they went right to it because of the success of 5, knowing full well they probably weren't ready to go there yet? Because why would they announce it that early in the game and then not even?
They did announce it early. Yeah, I remember hearing about it a long time ago. I don't know. I think they announced it too soon because what they were doing with 5, they were still innovating with it.
Yeah.
So they had time to like learn before they moved it over. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it probably worked out for them being able to kind of like create it and piece it together as they grew. Yeah. But I would imagine it took so long because of how good 5 was doing, and they just kind of kept learning from it and growing this one. This game is gonna be massive.
Which is my next question. Because of the length of how long it took to get here, the delays, hey, it's not ready yet, hey, we need to polish this, hey, we need to polish that. Do you think that's going to end up hurting sales? Are people kind of over it at this point? It's like, Jesus, I've been waiting for this long.
No, that's not how that works. No. Usually the longer someone has to wait, the more. And the craziest shit is I would be happy if it was a pleasant surprise, but people are rightfully so assuming this game to be the most expensive video game.
Oh boy.
Like they think
that's not gonna hurt it either. The fact that it's gonna be so pricey, people are still
people are gonna be mad.
Oh,
they're gonna be like, damn. They're gonna like dig into their pocket. They're going, damn, man, fuck you guys. You can I get a discount? No, man, fuck you. And they hand the card over.
It's like when you
get my shit.
It's
dude.
like when you get disrespected in the middle of a blowjob. It's like, God
I
damn
feel
it.
like wait, what?
It's like when you're being disrespected in the middle of a blowjob. Like your feelings are hurt, but you still want to finish what you're doing. And it's like I don't want to pay a lot of money for this game, but I'm gonna pay it and bitch about it the entire time that I pay for it.
A lot of listen, this game is sizing up to be. I wouldn't be surprised if base game, because you know how sometimes they have like higher editions and stuff like that you can buy.
Right.
I feel like base is going to be at least $100.
Wow.
At least $100.
And no hard
people
copy,
are
right?
going to bitch, but it's going to be the highest grossing video game.
And no hard copy. We're talking straight download.
Digital download.
Yeah, because the digital download's gonna.
Download.
Because if Red Dead 2 murdered storage
now physical copy is going to be $120.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And they're still going to want you to pay for the access.
Listen, people are going to pay. The game is too good. And the kids that grew up on that are still at a good age where
they're making money now.
They
they're
have
old
the
enough.
money
They
to
got
buy
jobs.
this shit now. Yeah.
They got
so
jobs.
They are in a perfect state to charge as much as fucking possible. And they've been talking about it in the gaming world with streamers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like everyone is already it's not going to be a sticker shock. People are anticipating this to be extremely expensive for a video game. So they're just conditioning their brain to know that look, I'm as soon as the pre-orders go up, I'm just gonna start saving now so that I don't get that mad when they say this bitch is 200. I'm just gonna drop the 200 and buy
go
it.
about my business.
And just fuck it. $200 for probably the next 5 years of fun.
Right.
I think it's worth it.
So I sent you in the rundown the link. So I didn't realize this, and maybe because I just don't follow the game all that much, but it has a very cinematic trailer to it. There's not a lot of gameplay that you really see in the trailer, but it does go very story heavy. Is that one of the draws to GTA? Is the story?
GTA's always been about its story.
It has, but I don't recall it. I mean, this is some this is some Scorsese shit. Like they're really giving you like this is story. They're like a movie for a second. I was like, fuck me. This is a long way from some guy on his bicycle riding through the hood. I was like, this is some intricate shit. Niggas is getting out of jail. They're beating the system. The cops you saw how depressed that cop was. He looked like he's on his like third shift. He hasn't had any coffee yet. He's like, us cops gotta stick together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll tell you what, the voicing and stuff like that looked really good. Like that game looks it. Now, obviously, it's a trailer, so it's going to be a little bit better. But if the game is anywhere near polished as that looked, that looked good.
But is it traditionally that way? Like, do they? Because
I don't know. I kind of fell off around.
Okay, but leave GTA out of it for just a second, because this is not the first trailer that you see for a video game where that fucking trailer looks immaculate, and then you get the gameplay,
oh yeah, and
you're like, oh, what happened?
Well, that's why I preference it as long as the gameplay is as good as their, isolated, high FPS, like cinematic trailer, then sure. As long as it plays as it looks, it's going to be fantastic.
All right. So if it's not going to hurt sales, then fuck it, because they're just going to do whatever it is they want to do. All right. See, this is why you people got to wait so damn long. You just... You cry about it, but you just let it happen, man. You just let these people do whatever it is they want to you. You just give up your body. Surrender to the great GTA gods, boy. I see people getting off the sports, though, like the live and shit like that. I seen people recently getting all fucking hibbity about that shit. They're like, oh, they're not really adding anything, and it's all the same. You're trading jersey numbers and colors. That's basically it. There's nothing going on.
Don't worry.
Do you start to get the sense that sometimes when it comes to the gaming community that they're becoming a little less and less to impress? Every cycle something comes out, it's like, okay.
Yeah, no, it's actually hurting numbers. I was watching quite a bit of videos yesterday. I watch a few people kind of like follow that stuff, so that's how I try to like keep up. But Yeah, the gaming industry is kind of hurting right now across the board. You have a huge shift where these single, I think I mentioned it last pod, like single or very, very low man dev video games are like popping off. And like one of the highest selling games right now is a remastered version of an old game. People lost their fucking mind. There's a Expedition 33 is a 30-man crew that just is outselling and outperforming, like as far as the gameplay and stuff like that is AAA games. And you have that last game, what's it called? It's like a drug dealing game that
Fun.
that is selling. Oh shit, what's it called? Like Schedule 1 or some shit like that, where it's like outselling AAA games, and it was made by one guy. Like one dude did it, and he had like 4 people. He outsourced a few things.
Like
Are
these platform, PC, mobile, like
art and music, but the coding and like the game on all that stuff was developed by him, and it sold like he's good now. Like he's
set.
He don't got to worry about money
right
now. He's good. He could just focus on making his good game, and like this shit's happening. And meanwhile, EA is laying off like tens of thousands of people.
My son brought that to my attention. That EA
even sports games, who they were talking about EA was like the pillar of or sports games were the pillar of EA. And even they're kind of struggling right now, and they're doing so bad. Part of the video was talking about that sports were doing so bad, but sports is still held at such a high regard that even though sports is failing, the other types of games are getting cut. So like people who work on Apex on certain divisions are being fired because their overall revenue has dropped. Sports aren't doing as well as they should, but sports isn't being affected. They're still holding their team, if that makes sense. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now with the games in it, and they're still going up in price. So
yeah, that's the thing too. They're going up in price, and they're getting less and less positive reviews on things. So we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah,
and people
there's a bubble.
Some people will say, "Oh, it's the tariffs," and that's not incorrect because they are technically going up, but when Nintendo released their pricing on the Switch 2 before the tariffs had full swing, and they were already complaining like most of the games were like $80 for a game. Like Mario Kart is $80.
Oh my god.
So this was before, and then tariffs hit, they completely stopped pre-orders. Because they're trying to wait out the release so that they can see what it's going to cost them, so they know what to charge. So that no one even knows really what it's going to cost. Then they tried to do some shit where they shipped it out of Taiwan because the tariff out of Taiwan was a lot cheaper, and like they instantly hit that like within a day or two when they found out like they were trying.
They found the loopholes, and they were like, "No, stop."
Yeah, they were trying
bullshit.
to find a loophole. And a lot of people were shipping through Taiwan, and like, nope. So they hit them harder, which made it worse. So it's like they're releasing, if you're a part of their like premium I forget what it's called, but the Nintendo's like premium club, then you gain access to pre-purchase, but everyone else can't do it.
Oh, okay.
Because they're just trying to figure out pricing and margin loss that they're going to lose on the fucking, it's crazy.
All right. Well, we got to keep our finger on the pulse of the industry here. That's why I figured this would be a good talking point, because this is one of the more hyped up games that are. I think this is something leaning more toward the positive side of things, despite the fact that it's been delayed and people are getting a little antsy and getting a little irritated by that. I think once it hits, I think it's going to have a much more positive effect on the industry, but we will see. We will see. There's a lot to discuss when that game comes out. I'd love to see the numbers sometime after its release to see if there was any drop-off or even if it's the resurrection we think it could be. So we'll see. Really quickly, we're going to take a pause for the cause, get ourselves a little commercial action in here, give you guys some info about the YouTube channel. So we'll click on that, and then we will be back in just a second to continue off with segment 3. Hey guys, AJ Orsini here, and I am super excited to let all of you know that we have completely rebranded the official OUM YouTube channel. We have changed the handle, we've changed the look, we have changed the feel and the vibe of OUM's exclusive YouTube channel. Now, all you need to do to access this YouTube channel, it's very, very simple. You go into the search bar, you type in OUM Network, or you can type in youtube.com/@OUM Network. It'll take you right there. This is going to be all-encompassing, every aspect of OUM officially on YouTube. It's going to be the episodes, it's going to be the shorts, the reels, the independent spotlight, it's going to be the OUM Minute. It's all of your OUM needs on the official YouTube channel. Check it out today.
It's time for segment 3.
Segment 3 takes us to this past weekend as Marvel Studios, by the results of many individuals that I have spoken to thus far, has Marvel going 2 for 2, back to back. Deadpool and Wolverine did amazing numbers for Marvel. They hit the $1 billion mark globally, worldwide. And people were really anticipating to see what Thunderbolts would be, what it could be. The trailers, I don't think, really did all that much for the movie, to be honest with you. It was a little vague. There wasn't a lot going on. A lot of confusion. People didn't really know a lot of the characters. It was a little tough. But word of mouth, my goodness, can be a wondrous thing. For everybody who saw the movie Wednesday and Thursday, you guys are heroes, because I truly believe the Wednesday and Thursday viewers, they made the shout across the bow. They said it with the conch shell. They called all the Marvel MCU fans, news team, assemble. He had everybody come in to pay attention to this movie. And I know you didn't get a chance to see it yet. This is Alex's first Marvel movie in the movie theaters. I ask him every single time to go. He does not want to go. He's not huge on the movies. But it was Mom's birthday, so he had no choice. He had to go. And he enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. He was like, this actually wasn't bad. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Everybody that I know has enjoyed this film. It's so good. It's so good. And the ending took everybody as a shock. The ending, I mean, you could hear. I didn't have one of those movie theaters that you see on YouTube where everyone starts screaming at everything and they're like extra vocal for no reason. I had a pretty mild room when we were watching the film. But when that twist happens at the end, and I won't spoil it here, the whole room gasped. They were like, what? Like, there was an audio shock in the room. And then the end credit, also big pop from the audience. An otherwise docile crowd goes off and just gets excited. It's a lot of fun. This movie was so cool. But here's the deal. The twist, the one that got everybody shocked, is now being revealed, not just on the internet, but in actual promotional material. The Thunderbolts, like every other movie, had marketing. You get billboards and bus signs and all kinds of shit, right? Just billboard, everything that you post up in places to get people thinking about the movie, seeing the movie. And it said Thunderbolts with an asterisk. And everybody was so worried about the asterisk. What does the asterisk mean? Well, it was revealed in the movie. And again, I'm not going to reveal it here, but it's huge. And it's a huge twist, and they decided to change the promotional material in the terms of they put an asterisk for a reason, right? So now that the weekend is over, everyone knows what that asterisk means. So they're actually going around. No lie, this is a real thing. They're going around and changing the name of the team in the promotional material, and it's got people pissed because they haven't seen the fucking movie yet. So they're all seeing this promotional material going, God damn it. I didn't need to know this, please. And again, I'm going to be kind and not do the spoiler deal. However, I want to have the conversation because, for instance, I will be once again a guest host this Friday on Joe Pombo's To Be Seen. on his 1 week later show where they take popular films, they wait a week for you to see it, and then they divulge. They speak on the movie and critique and give their high points and their low points. I've been on the show before in the past, and I can't wait to go back again. He usually comes calling for me, and I usually come calling for him. This time I called him because I was so impressed with Thunderbolts that I really wanted to go on his show. But he's had me in the past for Deadpool and Wolverine. He's had me on the show for Captain America Brave New World. So with those two movies, we had our likes, our dislikes. I don't have many dislikes of this movie, so it should be a lot more fun. But the conversation really is becoming now, how soon is too soon, right? The movie debuted worldwide Friday. Like I said, sneak peeks and early viewing was done Wednesday and Thursday, but for the most part, it wasn't released into the world until Friday. So technically, we're recording this on Tuesday. So what's that? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's been 4 days, right? Dave, is 4 days too soon? Should they be waiting? Should they be getting those?
No.
What do you think a comfortable limit is? Where should we draw this invisible line where it's safe to publicly give your opinions and speak on this stuff?
I don't know. I think in general, like, spoilers fucking suck. Like, it could really take me out of something. Like, I don't even want to watch it. Oh. Yeah, you know this.
I know, but still, it's just
you know that's the way that I am. It really just makes you not. I won't go see it if I know. Like, what's the fucking point? But in today's age, like, it's impossible. You can't get everyone on the same fucking page to not spoil something, especially when people are just fucking itching to review it.
Yeah,
like itching, like the moment they leave, they want to go do the pod that talks about it so they can fucking release their shit first. It's a race to get the content out. So to be fair, and unless you're unlucky and you have people talking about it at your job, it is very easy to not spoil something. You just got to stay off of socials. But if you're someone who needs to be on that shit or doesn't even think about it and you hop on, well, you might be into some trouble today, dude, because they're going to spoil shit. So just get there on day one and you're good.
Yeah, and that's the way that I feel about it sometimes. Well, I have a slightly different angle with it because I'm the opposite of you. I'm a back of the book kind of guy. Sometimes spoilers make me want to see it more because now I know that. Now
I don't even know how that chemically works.
Because now I know how good it is at the end. I know it's like when they tell you. It's like when I ask, like my son will ask me. He goes, "Hey, you know those donuts that we bought earlier today? Yeah. Can I have one?" Well, no. You're gonna eat dinner first, and then you're gonna have a donut. All of a sudden, now dinner has a goal to it. Oh, I know now. If I eat this dinner as fast as I can, I'm gonna get that goddamn donut. It's the same thing here. If I know that twist is coming, oh baby, this is gonna be okay. Let's take this ride because I know the ending to the ride is good. If I get the ending to a movie or if I get the ending to a book or whatever the case, and I know that the ending is shit, then I probably don't want to take the ride because I know the ending is shit.
You're a glutton. You'll still go. You'll still watch it. Because you want to know why it's shit now.
How the hell did it get this bad so fast?
Yeah. I need to see it unfold.
But that's I have respect for the people who make it public when they go, well, I was at work or I had a kid thing or like I really haven't had a chance. I couldn't catch an opening weekend in my area because it's all sold out, so I got to wait a weekend or something like that. I feel for you, I do. But just like my brother just said, you got to stay off the social. You got to stay. I mean, it's hard. This particular situation, that's why I'm bringing it up now, is actually a little bit more difficult than the usual case. Because in the past, it has been an easy fix for us to say, don't look at your socials, stay off the internet. But Marvel is in the streets changing it. They're changing it at bus stations and post office. Like, people who aren't on the internet are seeing the change because they're bringing the change to you. That's a little different. I think that's a little egregious. I think that might have been a bit much. Because that actually is like completely unfair. At least when you tell people, hey, just stay off social media for a little bit, they can still live their lives. They don't need social media, for the next few days. But motherfuckers who are taking the bus have to take that fucking bus. They gotta get to work. You're putting that in a situation where it's kind of unavoidable. At least on social media, it was unavoidable. But now you're changing the side of buildings. You're changing the shit in the train stations. You're changing the material where people are. I think that's a little bit more upsetting. I can identify with that because that's the first time I've ever seen Marvel ever do that. That's weird.
I mean, I think it's I fall under the camp of I think it's doing it is like you don't need to do that. Like I want to know where the benefit comes from doing that, but I'm also not going to kill them for doing it. Like, it is what it like. It's what happened. Like, so deal with it type of shit, right? I don't think they need to do it, but if they're going to do it, I don't think they're wrong for it. It's just the way it is, man. You're gonna get fucking spoiled. Like they're just leaning into the fact that, and if you look at it the other way, if you're someone who saw it and now it's like, oh look, they changed that's sick. Yeah, I remember it was cool. Like that one person's disappointment can very well still be a moment for someone else.
Right.
So maybe they felt they wanted that moment. They wanted to bring. I don't know. I wasn't in that room. To them, it was worth it. It must have been. Because remember, that costs money. Why the fuck would I take down an already thing that's up there?
You're marketing the film
deliberately
after.
Did this.
Yeah, you marketed the film to get people to come, and then the movie was released, did well, and then you remarketed.
Yeah. Which sounds to me like they're trying to create a moment. And if you're not a part of it, well, fuck. Sucks to suck, dude.
I feel like somebody in that room said, if we change the asterisk to the real name, people are going to go, holy shit, what did I miss? And they're going to go, oh,
I could see that. I could see that.
For people like me, I can see that. But for people like you who don't want that.
Can I tell you the honest truth?
You weren't going to see it anyway. No,
I probably wasn't going to watch it anyway.
I know. But for the people...
I kind of want to because... You haven't quite spoiled it yet, but if it gets spoiled by the time I get to it, I'm not fucking watching.
I'm really trying. That's the reason. To be honest with you, normally I don't give a shit about spoilers, and I've been very public with that. I have spoiled it on this show in the past. The reason why I'm not spoiling it right this second is I actually feel
you're leaving that door open.
Yeah, so I actually feel confident enough about this movie that I feel like you actually would enjoy it. So I'm
here's the new caveat in my life.
Okay.
To this whole point. If my wife hasn't been spoiled, I will still watch it.
Oh,
because watching her pop is fun.
Okay.
But
and I think she will.
She's a big social media person.
Oh, no.
Let me relax. That's disrespectful. Let me not say she's a big but she keeps her ear to the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's not out of the loop.
But I don't actually, you know what? That's a good fucking question. I gotta answer that. I don't think spoilers bother her.
Ask her if she does. If it doesn't, ask her why. Because if it's close to mine, we're kindred spirits over here.
I will. That will be our follow up for next week.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Yeah, let's do that.
I don't think she cares.
We need a Nora.
There's been a couple things that I didn't know, and she starts talking to me about it. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? She goes, oh, you didn't see it? I'm like, fucking no. Were you about to? Oh, you know what? I'm actually certain she doesn't mind. I'm gonna double check with her still, but she's the fucking worst when it comes to to me, it's like you're ruining the surprise. I love the surprise. Don't tell me there's a surprise. Just surprise me.
Just surprise it, yeah.
Yeah.
Treat it like a surprise. Surprise me with the surprise. Don't tell me a surprise is coming because then it's not a surprise. This is one of those movies. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Remember before you were saying that you're really not a fan.
I was going to ask. How does it line up? Do I need to see anything?
Yes, the homework, right? That was always a concern of yours. Do I need the homework
to watch this movie?
Okay. The quick answer to that is no. You do not. If you didn't see Black Widow, which introduced Yelena to the MCU,
which I have,
which you have, but even
that was
if
my last one, ironically.
even if you didn't, you don't need to. In this film, they kind of give you cliff notes, little things here and there that kind of give you an update of who she is and what she's been doing. U.S. agent. So if you didn't see Falcon and the Winter Soldier, 100% fine. You don't need to. You don't need to see how he became this and what happened with that. That's fine. They give you enough of him in this film because this film had new information as far as catching us up to what he's been up to. So if you didn't see it before, 100% fine. They gave you a brief rundown. He's a super soldier like Steve, but less of the morality. They give you all that. The same thing with Ghost. The same thing with Taskmaster. Valentina. If you didn't follow, that's fine. They made this movie. I think personally, they made this movie with the non-hardcore in mind. Could you learn more about these characters if you go back and watch? Sure, obviously. 8 episodes of something is going to give you a lot of detail. You don't need it to enjoy this film. Plus, the biggest part of this movie is the introduction of one of the most powerful Marvel characters in history, and all of his backstory is in this movie. There's almost literally no reference to him before this movie. So it's the literal build of him. So if you didn't catch any of the previous stuff, you don't need to do the homework. I think you will still enjoy this film without the homework. There is great humor in it. There's a lot of funny moments in it. There's a lot of serious moments in it. This movie is gonna have you reflecting on yourself. So there's a lot of back and forth. It's really cool. I think it's a really good movie. I actually think it's a pretty cool movie outside of the Marvel aspect. How about that? So like I don't. If you didn't see it before, you're fine. You're going to be okay. Maybe, and I don't think this will work on you, but like maybe someone who didn't see some of the homework from before will watch this and maybe go back. Who knows? There's a chance someone's going to do that. So I think people will enjoy it anyway. I know you'll enjoy the twist at the end, although some people have their questions. I'll get more into that on Friday on Joe's show about the decision to have the twist be that. That was kind of a left field moment. And then the end credit, also a left field moment. But the twist at the end of the film is kind of clear cut. Like, here's the twist. And you go, okay, you either like it or you don't like it. The end credit is going to be debated highly. And we're probably going to argue about that on Joe's show. So everyone should tune in. I'll share the links and stuff like that. But we're probably going to debate that too. So other than that, also keep in mind as we're discussing this film, next in the lineup is the Fantastic Four. And then after that, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not missing one, we're going straight to Doomsday, which is otherworldly. So that's what's been going on with that. But I think as far as the time period in which spoilers, I think you kind of hit it on the head there. Like, there really isn't a set time because everybody's different. There's some people like myself who don't give a shit about the spoilers at all. People like me, knowing the movie is out Wednesday and Thursday before it even comes out Friday, I'm already looking for the movie. Like, that's me. I'm already on the internet like, okay, I know it's in here somewhere in Spanish. Where the fuck is this goddamn movie? And then there are those who are going to wait a week, 2 weeks, because that's the time frame that they have to go see the movie. So I understand that there's a distance between the two worlds, but for those of you who don't like spoilers, unfortunately, you're going to have to go the extra mile to prevent that from happening. I will take the time to not do it here on the show, but I can't speak for others. Like you said, it's a race. The ones who get it out the fastest are going to get all the clicks. So do yourself a favor and take your time. All right? Enjoy the film. It's going to be a good film. Spoiler or not. I know people who don't like spoilers, like you just said, it ruins it for you. You're still going to enjoy the movie. You would. But, to each their own. So let's get to the next topic. Let's get to the next segment because I want to make sure we have enough time to also do our little watch along.
Segment 4 is finally here.
It is finally here, and we're here to talk about two worlds. The Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression. Now, you were a child during the Attitude Era. I mean, we're talking 12, maybe 11. So, like, 1990, technically 1997 is the start of the Attitude Era. So you were like 12. No.
Prime kid shit.
No, you were like, 88. You were 9. Fuck. Yeah, you were 9 years old during that time period. But I'm sure you have your fair share of Attitude Era memories.
Mostly.
Right? Mostly. Right. I'm probably going to have to refresh you on Ruthless Aggression in a minute.
Refresh me? I don't think I watched most of any of it at all.
No, I think,
to be honest with you,
I think you did.
But I know of John Cena. I'm sure there were a few moments that I remember, but for the most part, I was kind of out of wrestling around that time.
Okay. Well, see, and here's the thing with that, right? So I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine, and he was, oh man, this guy is a huge Attitude Era guy. I mean, it's always the same conversation. And he's like,
That's a little weird, though.
It's so loaded, right? It was one of the best. Wait. I just realized what you said weird?
Yeah, that's a little weird.
What's weird about it?
How old is he?
My age.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. I've come to the conclusion. Okay, hold on. Before I prejudge with that, does he watch wrestling today? Like, is he considered a wrestling fan?
Yes.
Or is he one of those guys that doesn't watch and he reminisces about it?
He's as obsessed as I am. He's watched every Raw, every SmackDown.
Okay, then that's fucking weird. Then I stand on that fucking weird. That's weird. It's weird. Like, at some point, you gotta grow up. Like, I understand why it was good, but like, anyway, go ahead. You're
saying that it's weird because of the nostalgia factor. Like, he's taking that one period and he's still even
at
today
some point it's just like to say it's the best is kind of ridiculous.
So I don't believe Attitude Era is the best era, and I grew up in that area. I actually also I'm very on the line when it comes to the Ruthless Aggression Era as well. But the way that the conversation started, it was really amping up the Attitude Era. And it was a group conversation, but he was dominating because he was trying to get his point across about the Attitude Era. When I said, not only I don't think Attitude Era is the best era, I don't think it was better than the Ruthless Aggression Era, which is the era that preceded it. Right? So the official Attitude Era time was from 97 to about 02, and then 02 to about 08. So it's about a 5, I want to say 5. Let me see, 97, 98, 99, 2001, 2002. About 6 years each. So it's an even amount of time. And, of course, after 97 started the PG era, which is a whole other conversation for a whole other day. And then if for it going in the opposite direction. Not awesome, but like a weak time period in WWE. But the WWE is broken up into two worlds when it comes to older fan bases, and it comes to the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. And a lot of times, whenever people make an argument for the Attitude Era, it's always the same argument every time. The ratings were super high, which is kind of right. I mean, they always point to that one Raw that had literally an 8.3 or some shit. Like that one Raw that was mega high. And it was it had the most visible stars, right? An era that had the biggest stars. The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, Kane, Mick Foley. It was nonstop. And I said, no, please continue. No, go ahead. Please continue. Go down the rest of the roster. I'd like to hear it. And he really could. I mean, hardcore
he
fan.
Didn't pick up that was a trap.
He didn't pick up on it because
he fell for it.
He fell for it because because then he started naming people. Once you get past those 6, right? Triple H, you could throw Shawn Michaels in there, right? Once you get past those names, it starts to get really fucking thin. And I'm like, okay, your era, if I'm arguing for the Ruthless Aggression Era, I will say this. The Attitude Era maybe had larger-than-life stars. If you compare Attitude Era's top stars to Ruthless Aggression's top stars, you might have an argument based on that rating argument that he had. That's why he was saying they were the most visible, the biggest stars, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin was a household name. When Steve Austin was on top, everything was 316. It was on The Simpsons. It was on South Park. It was on television. It was pop culture. It was cool. The Rock was the same way. If you smell what The Rock is cooking with the eyebrow and all that stuff, I get it. But you had an era that had really high star power, and then on the opposite end, really low star power. It was feast or famine in the Attitude Era. You were either on every lunchbox in school, or people in the wrestling business didn't fucking know you were in WWE. It was.
Yeah, but can I counter that though?
Sure.
Not counter, but to make a point, I think the reason why it felt that way because of the era itself. If the Attitude Era was in the era of today with all the exposure, I don't think it would have. That would have been a poor argument because the weakness of the roster would have just been way more exposed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot easier to feel big when you're on TV. Like, what is it? How much were they on TV? Once or twice a month? Or no, I'm sorry, like 4 times, 5 times
the
a
Raws,
month.
yeah.
Pay-per-views and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot easier to feel like your roster is full of 4 guys when you're not on that much. But when you're doing as much publicity as these guys, you gotta have a mid card. You can't do that shit. Yeah. Like, say what you want about Roman, he can't carry the whole company every single like you're just gonna get bored of him.
Right.
So that's just my point to that. Like, I think it felt that way because it was the exposure was much smaller.
Yeah, the exposure was much smaller. You're talking about an era of wrestling that didn't have a strong internet, right? Not an internet like we have today, where it was like you had.
Not even fucking close.
Yeah, you had internet, but it wasn't like your life lived.
It was the start. It was baby internet.
Baby
it
internet.
Was new.
Baby internet. There wasn't. You know, this is funny. People forget this. They have revisionist history when it comes to this. There wasn't even a lot of TV options. We didn't have 1,000 channels like we have now on cable networks. You only had a certain amount of high-profile television networks that had hit or miss quality television.
Prime time TV, I think, is what you're talking about.
Yes.
Like those hours that people fought for, because that's when people watch television.
Yeah.
It's like very small portions of the day.
Yeah, they did great numbers because they had a great product. I'm not going to disrespect them and say that they didn't, but there wasn't a whole lot of competition either. You know, it's like
not in that genre.
No, whenever Monday Night Raw would come on, the conversation when it comes to ratings with WWE always was the football games. Right? So it was like, well, who's playing on Monday Night Football? That's going to help determine the rating because Monday Night Football might take some viewership away. Or whenever they would leave the USA for on Monday for a specific day because of the Westminster Dog Show. You know, like when they did the Dog Show and all of a sudden Raw has to be on Wednesday or Saturday for some fucking reason. And like shit like that. It wasn't immediate competition. Even when in the Attitude Era, which is another argument that he brought to the table, the Attitude Era also hosted the Monday Night War. Now, I'll give you that. That's probably your strongest argument for the Attitude Era was the Monday Night War. Nitro versus Raw every week was a goddamn race to the finish. I'll give you that. But competition from another company doesn't help an argument when it comes to which one was the better era for one company.
Yeah, I don't think that's era based. That's not an argument for the era.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a moment in time.
That it happened.
Any era could
era.
have fallen into that situation. It just so happened to be that one. I don't think it's a comment to the Attitude Era specifically.
Yeah, that's something that happened during the era, but it doesn't define that era for this company. You know what I mean? Like
right.
That was something that helped. You know, with the interest, maybe perhaps, but. I remember during that time when it happened, yes, there were people, like for instance today, right? People go, I don't understand why there's any gatekeeping at all. You could be an AEW fan, you could be a WWE fan, you could be both. Who cares? In the 90s, we cared.
Oh, it was a problem.
You had WCW. Yep. You had WCW fans, you had WWE fans. That's just what it was. So the
it's
WWE
like Crips and Bloods, man.
Yes.
You see somebody with an NWO shirt.
Yeah, and
it's on site.
Now you pull that DX shirt out of the closet real fucking quick, and And it affected the ratings. For as strong as ratings as both show had, imagine if we lived in a world where fans didn't give a shit about allegiances and watched both. It would have been even more tremendous. Now, when compared to, say, like the Ruthless Aggression Era. So when people say, well, the Attitude Era had a great roster, which it didn't. Not top to bottom, it didn't. Not in comparison to the Ruthless Aggression Era. And I told him right off the bat, because he goes, okay, so what's your argument? Well, my argument is this. First and foremost, the Ruthless Aggression Era, their top stars, or at least guys they had on top that rotated around, were all your stars. Stone Cold performed in the Ruthless Aggression Era. Shawn Michaels had a better run in the Ruthless Aggression Era than he did in the Attitude Era. Triple H was a bigger star in Ruthless Aggression than he was. The Undertaker was a bigger star in Ruthless Aggression than he was in the Attitude Era. So that's all rip. Then you introduce in 2002 John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, Brock Lesnar. And then you skip ahead a few more years. The Miz becomes a big star. Here comes a new generation, a CM Punk, Kofi Kingston. It seemed like every year there was an introduction and an influx of more and more people who would later go on to become absolute fucking studs and legends. Edge debuted in the Attitude Era. Didn't become a star until the Ruthless Aggression Era, when he became world champion for the first time in 2005, and then became the ultimate opportunist. The Hardy Boys were a great tag team, a trifecta in the Attitude Era with the Dudleys and Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian and Hardys became absolute fucking legends in the Ruthless Aggression Era. So that's off rip. And now you're also talking about a time in WWE where they were so talent heavy, we had a brand split. They didn't have that in WWE. They barely had enough talent for the one show. We had two. We had Raw and SmackDown. And do you remember that draft that they had, that first draft? It was like Rock on SmackDown, Steve Austin on Raw, Taker on SmackDown.
It was a big deal.
For fuck's sake.
It was a big deal.
We had the SmackDown 6, Kurt Angle, Edge, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero. I mean, that's all on one brand. Rob, the influx of ECW talent in the Ruthless Aggression. So now we've got RVD, the Dudleys, we've got Tommy Dreamer. I mean, just every WCW cast out with actual talent. The whole Ruthless Aggression from top to bottom was we had young top talent, mid card top talent, high card top talent. It was just across the board. The ratings argument also doesn't work because while the Attitude Era had better ratings, obviously we just illustrated why that was. There wasn't a whole lot of options. The Ruthless Aggression Era, 2002 to about 2008, that is a technological upswing from 2002 to 2008. Just look at how cell phones looked from 2002 to 2008. just that tech alone. The internet.
It's a big deal, too.
Yeah, the internet usage. Now we've got all kinds of different tech, all different ways to not only read your news about wrestling or read articles about wrestling, you're watching wrestling on your phone now in 2008, which is a whole new level of shit. We've got TiVo, we've got DVR, all kinds of shit's happening in the Ruthless Aggression. And the ratings stayed pretty much the same. There wasn't the highs and lows of the Attitude Era. The Ruthless Aggression Era, are you kidding me? That fucking time period is fucking ridiculous. Look at the cards. Look at the fucking... One of my favorite... I think... let me see if I can... while I'm talking, let me see if I can get the exact time that it happened. It was a Backlash show. And it was Shawn Michaels, Edge... Randy Orton, John Cena. Which one was that one? That one was, I got it here. It was a Backlash. It doesn't give me the year, though, that it was a Backlash. This was a Backlash main event. I can't remember what year it was. It might have been 05, 06, or something like that. It was John Cena, who was the WWE champion, defending against Randy Orton, Edge, and Shawn Michaels at the time. To this day, it's a standout match for me because of that finish. That finish is one of the most convoluted. Like, you got to be a fucking professional to pull that shit off. And that is all a product of that era. Stone Cold Steve Austin, all the respect in the world. The Rock, The Undertaker, those guys had badass matches. Those guys had badass finishes. But they couldn't do that with everybody. You know, for every Stone Cold Steve Austin, there was a Gangrel. For every Undertaker, there was a fucking Sultan. No disrespect to Rikishi, but that was a terrible fucking gimmick. They had a lot of those. I know we laugh about it now, but the way they treat it like Kai and Tai, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, they had to go back and watch some of those Rumbles from like 97, 98, 99, Tiger Ali Singh. You know, there's a lot of fucking guys from that era that were just, let's be honest, they were just fucking there. Like you said, they got to put something on the fucking card. But Ruthless Aggression Era, top to fucking bottom. Those cards were fun. They also, not for nothing, I don't know if this helps or it hurts, but at least the Ruthless Aggression Era did have some form of a women's division. Not what it would end up being, but it was definitely the start of that. I know we don't look too kindly on the Divas. We sat here and shit on them during the Hall of Fame speeches with Michelle McCool. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Diva era was the greatest era ever, but it existed. What was the women's division in the Attitude Era? Sable and Jacqueline. And that's it. It was just Sable and Jacqueline. And then we got Miss Kitty. And then the other Tori that isn't Tori Wilson. And I remember BB. No love for BB. Nobody else remembers BB. Those big ass booblage. Oh my God. Her titties were massive. I couldn't get over it. I was a young, impressionable child. I was hoping all titties would be that size. Little did I know. Those were not natural titties. Those were store-bought. I didn't realize they weren't homegrown. I was too young at the time to tell the difference. I thought to myself, man, are all titties like that? I can't wait to become an adult. Then I became an adult and was like, aw. It's depressing. But yes, this is a long list. So the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression, they have their ups, they have their downs, but I'm going to stand by my guns. I really do feel like the Ruthless Aggression was the better era. I don't think it's the greatest era ever. That's still up for debate. But, you know, I feel like the Attitude Era gets fetishized. Like, it's almost like it's that one era that happened in time. And I think you hit it with a culture. Like the 90s as a whole, I feel like has this aura about it, where it was just
that's
like,
where a lot of the things that we live with today was kind of like just coming out.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people who think back on the 90s of like this magical
like
time.
Video games. Some of the greatest moments were around that time. The fucking the wrestling, sports was at a high. Super Bowl was huge.
That's
like everything was just kind of like getting crazy around. Like I see the late 90s, 2000s as like the very early stages of like what we live with day to day today. Cell phones coming out, TVs getting bigger, like just everything that we have today that have been improved started around that time. So I don't think it's too crazy for people who grew up in that to be like, man, that was the fucking best. Because you still had that simplicity while getting something insane, right? Like those flat screen, remember a flat screen TV? Seen one of those things for the fucking first time? It's like, oh, it's so cool. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it was that middle age between simplicity and like not having a lot to where like very techie in advance.
Yeah, man.
That's why people feel that way.
Yeah, you bring up like even in sports, right? That's the Michael Jordan era. In baseball, that's the home run era when they were doing the chase. You know, in news, that's when Bill Clinton was getting blueies in his office.
Yeah, dude, there's all kinds. The 90s, early 2000s,
weird time, bro.
Great, no, not weird, amazing.
You know what I mean?
Weird makes. I just hope the kids today have that. You know what I mean? I'm sure they do.
Well, they got
in their own way.
Yeah, these kids have the Diddy situation and R. Kelly went to jail finally, and that's the news portion. There's sports. They have Caitlin Clark. They got.
I feel like this generation or whatever generation that like you would call it. I feel like they're the era of like never leaving high school.
This current one.
Yeah, well, current and like maybe one or two back too, like with the Vines and the YouTubes and the TikToks and stuff.
Yeah,
I just feel like that's high school shit, and it's like you leave high school, but you never really leave high school because you're just like around. You can still see the people. Remember leaving high school and just never fucking seeing those people again?
Yeah.
Even some people be like, yo, I can't wait to never see these motherfuckers again. It's just like you don't shake that nowadays. I don't think so. People's presence online, stuff like that. If you have friends of a friend who knows somebody, you see their shit too. I don't know. I just feel like you never leave high school.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. I was talking about this with a buddy of mine the other day. I said, what's funny about this generation? Back in the day, when you left, like in your scenario, right? When you left high school or when you got older, you just kind of fell out of relationships. Like it wasn't like a negative thing. You just, you start hanging out with a different crew or whatever the case may be, right? You just kind of fall out of relationships. In today's society, if you lose track of a friend, if you lose connection to somebody, that shit was a choice. That was a choice. They could follow you if they wanted to. They don't want to.
Even if you don't want, they see what you're doing.
It's like it is. They are making a conscious decision to not fuck with you anymore. I think that hurts way more than the shit that we were doing. Because at least before, like it was hard to reach people.
No, literally, you're just like, remember the awkward. Hey man, what's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a long time. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
like, man. Nowadays it's like, oh, dude, you haven't accepted my friend invite. I saw you went to the beach the other day with your friends. It's like, dude, fucking
God damn.
I'm gonna accept you just to block you, dude.
Yeah,
so you can't fucking see nothing.
Just so I can pinpoint exactly the assholes who shouldn't be seeing my shit. Yeah, that's another thing. I know it's hard for people to believe because I post so much, but I post a lot of my podcast stuff. I post a lot of my wrestling stuff. I don't post a lot of me and my family. There are some people who they post every fucking thing online. Every fucking thing.
I don't know how people post their kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like even to this day, I'm not sure, but even to this day, I think my wife has never really made a post about our daughter. She's made the timed ones, like whatever you call those, where you like see them and then they go away eventually.
She's done a few stories of you guys like at the park or something.
Stuff like that. Yeah. But they're not like sitting up on a wall or anything like that. She pointed that out to me not too long ago. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I've ever seen you make up. She's like, fuck no. I'll show people a snippet of what we're doing and that shit goes away. Like that's it. It's not fucking you can't just be watching what I'm doing. No, people will post their whole ass kids from birth.
Their whole ass kids. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. We got people now live streaming and doing TikToks at the delivery room. It's insane. It's insanity to me. I don't know. Back in my day, no.
No, fuck that.
Oh man. So we're gonna move forward here onto our main event here and let's get down to nut cutting time. Let's get into some serious business here.
It is now time for our main event.
Our main event of the evening, of course, takes us back to the land of SummerSlam, back into the Ruthless Aggression Era of 2007. It is John Cena and Randy Orton. Now, John Cena and Randy Orton will be competing this weekend at Backlash one-on-one for the undisputed WWE Championship. But whatever match we get will not hold a candle to the match that we are about to watch here. This is by far one of their better matchups. Widely considered the best matchup between them. They've had a million matches together. This is the one that everyone points to. We say, man, they really got it done here. You're not going to see, unlike Brett and Steve, this is not going to be a Matt classic, but there's going to be a lot of work here. We're going to talk about it as it happens. There's going to be a lot of character work, a lot of psychology. We're going to break all that shit down here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, let's talk specifics here. I am not on Peacock. The last time we did a watch-along, we did it on the Peacock Network because I could not find Bret Hart versus Austin full match on YouTube. This time I did. The full match that we're going to watch here is on the official WWE YouTube channel. This was posted about 4 years ago. It's already at 6 million views. How about that? It's literally labeled full match in caps. - John Cena versus Randy Orton - WWE title match : SummerSlam, 2 capital S's, 2007. And that's where we're going to be taking you here. So we're starting at the very, very beginning. 000. No weird spots in the middle. It's really the beginning here. I got a chance to pre-watch a little bit of it just to kind of get a gauge of where it starts, where it ends. There are no entrances. It cuts right to the beginning of the match, literally the bell ringing, so it's the two of them in their corners. And we get started, and it ends with a little bit of celebration by the winner. So, no special numbers. It's 000 here. Before I continue forward, Dave, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Oh, my God. Silky, silky, silky. Here we go. I'm maximizing it just a little bit there so we can get a better view. Of course, I have the audio off so that there's no copyright issue. I've been running into some copyright issue uploading my old episodes. I made some silly mistakes that I have to fix. But so we don't have the copyright deal. So, Dave, are you ready for us to continue on here our road for another watch-along? This time, a Matt Classic. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. I'm going to leave it here, and we're going to hit the play button in 3, 2, 1, play. No.
You're going to get struck already. Don't do that shit.
Right out of the gate, the horns. You hear the horns, you finished. We've got John Cena, Randy Orton, the WWE Championship. This is pre-Orange Orton. This is 07 Orton, not the menace that we all know as 09 Orton.
Juice Cena?
Well,
he's on the gear?
He's on the Tropicana diet.
Mm-hmm.
This is back when this was young Cena. Look at the fucking brick house. Look at this guy. I didn't realize until I looked back on the John Cena matches that he was, despite his height, he was considered a power wrestler. Big moves, big slams. Massive. I know, but he's not the biggest guy. I mean, he's muscular.
Orton looks small.
Yeah, thin.
Like, he's tall.
Yeah.
He's definitely tall, but he's like, he looks like he's still got baby fat here, man.
He's got a baby face. Look at that face. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
There we go. Strong collar elbow tie-up between John Cena and Randy Orton. Look at the referee. He's not Ken Shamrock.
In there, dude.
Yeah, not Ken Shamrock-like, but the referee looks like he's geared up for this fucking match, too. He's amped. Look at that side headlock. This is wrestling, son. This is the wrestling.
Is this the Cena that people dislike as wrestling, or is this the Cena that could actually go?
No, this is the Cena everybody disliked. This is the Cena. This is the Let's Go Cena. Cena sucks era at its peak. Here you go, shoulder tackle, headlock takedown right there. Look at that nice strong put right in the middle of the ring, facing the hard cam. Professional tight work. This is the stuff this is the guy that they didn't like. This is the guy they said couldn't wrestle.
Well, he's in a hold right now, and we just started. We don't need to rest yet. We can go.
We're going into study mode here. Look at Randy. Look at Randy's body language. Look what he's doing. He's not just laying there in a headlock. He's trying to get out of it.
I mean, I would like to hope you would.
Yes, that does. It sounds almost too logical, but yes, that's what he's doing. All right, referees count. He does not have until 5. He only has until 4 or 5. Oh, look at that. Look at that cheap shot right there. Headlock. Ooh, wrestling, son. Look at that. He's taller, so he's got the leverage.
People are popping a little too hard for some fucking headlocks, dude. Like, relax.
Ooh,
that hard cam side is going crazy right now.
Oh, another headlock takeover. This time, Randy Orton. Nice high and tight right there. That's a headlock. How deep into this match? We're only we're approaching our third match. Yeah, and it's all headlocks and a shoulder.
You can't go from Stone Cold and Brett.
Yeah.
To some fucking headlocks, dude.
No, but they're doing it. They're wrestling.
I don't know, man. This match might be proving your boy right. This match might be proving your boy right.
Wait
this
for
shit
it.
is ass so far.
They're
Let's
just
go.
getting into it. Drop toe hold. Here it is. It's going for the STFU. It's going for the finishing hold.
When's the last time you seen a drop toe hold?
Oh, I've done them.
That and a European. I haven't seen many Europeans. I don't know why people don't use it.
I'm over the European.
European is one of the greatest fucking moves in wrestling history.
There we go. Now we're throwing some sledges, some right hands. There's some stomps. There you go. Randy, at the time, this is not, believe it or not, despite this being a championship match and despite this being the main event, this is not top tier Orton yet. This is not him at his best.
You're gonna make me prove your boy wrong. This is fucking trash.
Oh yeah.
Prove your boy right. This is terrible. Why do they look like they're 15 minutes in already? They've literally just been resting.
Now they're wrestling.
Cena looks like he's been hit by a truck. They've done nothing.
It's called selling. He ain't done nothing. He's been punched in the fucking face multiple times.
That's right. He executed a drop toe hold.
That's right. And went for his finishing maneuver. See, this is part of the reason why I like watching a match like this, because, like what you just said, they've done nothing. They've literally...
There it is.
There's the European you were looking for. They're literally throwing bombs at each other.
I pop every time. I don't know why, dude. I just love a good European.
A nice sharp snap. Oh, counter into the corner there. Boom by Johnson. Here comes the
big
Bulldog. How about that?
Fucking turn his head like that was a video game. That was so weird.
He had to be in the right spot. You know what I'm saying? This is part of the thing.
Going here. There we go.
This is why I try to tell
movement.
people. This is doing something. This is wrestling. This is what it's supposed to look like. There it is. Boom. Close onto the back of the head. How about that? You can knock a guy. I think it's easier to knock a guy out hitting him in the back of the head than the front. Be honest with you.
I'm mad the ref didn't give him shit for that.
For hitting him in the back of the head? It's not illegal.
Yeah. It's kind of dirty.
It's like he didn't see it coming. Hit him to the face. Stop being a bitch. Here goes down the stalking. This is patented Randy Orton right here. Oh, what
is this Legend Killer Randy?
This is
or not quite?
This is just before he starts hearing voices in his head. This is still technically Legend Killer, but this
is Orton on his medication.
Woo! You saw that drop down, baby. You saw that drop down. He let his bitch ass go over like a dummy. He was going for those shoulder tackles, and he said, "Nah, no bueno." He just traveled right over Randy Orton, and now the referee is giving him some sort of instruction here. I don't know what the issue was. He didn't touch John. Now he's going to touch the fuck out of him. Boom! Into the table. How about that? Is he doing something? I'm not cheating. It was a regular strike. I can't help but his big-ass head falls.
I just feel like Cena's overselling right now.
Overselling?
He's overselling.
How is he overselling?
We're watching the same match. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's overselling.
Doing too much?
He is as hurt right now when he hit that table than he got put in a headlock in the first 2 minutes.
Oh, wait. Cena hit the table. Is that who you're saying is overselling?
Yeah, Cena is overselling.
Oh, I thought you said Orton was overselling. I'm like,
No. Cena's overselling.
Well, you know what the deal is with that is that Cena, as the babyface champion, his money is going to be in the comeback. So
I understand that. That's what he's trying to build towards.
Yeah, I can see your point being maybe he should have shined more at the beginning. Did more at the beginning to lead to this heat. Because he looks like he took heat very early in the match. Orton is look at the struggle on that side headlock. He's cranking. He's trying to take his head off of his body. It's like, I see your point. Cena should have did a little bit more in the beginning, a little shined up a little bit more. They went right to
I don't believe he's gassed right now.
No, of course not. No.
After this headlock, you're seeing stars.
Yeah.
Orton's selling the fuck out of this headlock.
This is like his third or fourth headlock. He is working that neck, boy.
He is, yeah.
Now he's pulling back on it. Yeah.
White, dude.
Orton's blood is rushing to his head, and he's the one holding the fucking headlock. There we go. Put his ass to sleep. End this. Run. Put him out of his fucking... Look at the leg positioning. Look at everything Orton is in a great
I'm
position.
watching Orton here, man. He is definitely a fucking prodigy,
This
dude.
nigga could work, son. Uh-oh.
You
Belly
can
the back
see some
buff.
green in him, obviously, but it's like he's still pretty refined for how young he is right now.
Yeah,
he's very conscious of his foot placement and where his back is and where is he standing and where to be at the right time. Look at his little momentous dives. He doesn't just go down.
That is the second. Forward. That is the second time Orton has gotten the offense back just by moving out of the way.
Doofus is just throwing his body.
Am I seeing tiki torches? Is that actual fire by the entrance? Yeah. I forgot about this entranceway. Ooh, and here we go, stomping on limbs. I used to love that about heel Orton when he used to step on hands and step on feet and shit.
You see, that's not an oversell. If somebody stomps your fucking ankle like that.
Yeah, that is the appropriate response to that. Yeah, there you go. More to the ankles, more to the knees.
You want to talk about one of the weakest joints / bones? Fucking get your ankle stomped.
Oh, yeah. I haven't had mine stomped. I've torn them regardless.
Stomp it on his hands, too. Yep. He don't give a fuck.
He walks around in a circle and stomps whatever's flapping around. He doesn't give a shit what it is. This is pre-09 Orton oh, man, we got to, not next. We'll space it out, but we got to get some 09 Orton on this show. My God, he was a fucking bald-headed orange Orton was a fucking menace. And here he is stomping again right on the back of his goddamn head. He's got a bullseye on the back of John's skull. That's for sure. Again, this is the WWE Championship match. It said in the beginning what city they were in. I'm going to have to double check real quick because the city it really depends on the crowd as well. There's that knee drop that he's missing. John finally. There we got a hope spot here. We got a hope spot for John. He's going to start firing up. We'll see what he's got. A counter and a cutoff with a power slam. That is a hope spot. That is where the babyface who's been fighting from underneath finally gets a quick little fury, gives the audience hope that he will turn it around, but then the heel cuts him off and he's right back to that goddamn headlock.
They're moving now. Yeah. They're moving now.
Slow build.
And see, the headlocks are good here because Orton's working. He's in like work him down mode. So the headlocks make sense. The shit in the beginning fucked me up, man. It was so slow. It was so slow. But they're moving now, like they're getting big bumps in. He's trying to he's breaking him down.
Yeah.
And at this point, Cena can't just put him back in a headlock. He's got to fight back, and that's what the whole point to it. But yeah, that beginning was whack. But so we're here now.
We got to where we were going. Apparently, this match is taking place in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Continental Airlines Arena. I have been in that building a bunch of times. I know that's a hot crowd. I wish I could hear it. But, lawsuits and the whatnot. Plus, I don't think I would want to talk over the commentary. But, yeah, there is that side headlock again, and now Cena's powering out of the goddamn thing. He's not even breaking it. It's just pure power. And he throws the punch to the gut, and here it goes. Bam! Picture perfect. Another cut off from Randy Orton. 1, 2, and no. That much closer to getting the Duke, getting the win.
You have our audio separate from this audio, don't you? You can always cut the audio and we hear it.
It's unnecessary.
Maybe in the future. It would be nice to hear the commentary.
Okay, I'm gonna play with that and see how that works itself out.
Yeah, but next time.
Because I don't know if because I know if it plays in my headphones, it's gonna show up on my my program. Here goes.
Gotcha.
Here goes another side headlock, but this time quickly countered. Headlock takedown. This is wrestling right here. Because there's times where I play audio that you don't hear, but I hear it, and then it comes up on the Audacity, so I got to wait.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so there's a side headlock here by John Cena. No, not by John, to John Cena in the middle of this ring. And this is where we start. We're at the 11-minute mark, heading into the 12. This is a 23-minute video. I don't think the whole match is 23 minutes. I think it's about 20 minutes. So we're about the halfway point of this matchup right now. And Randy, oh my God, look at the angle. Oh, full body weight. He's going at full anaconda. That's it. Good night. Good night. Somebody called his mama. Let him know she's next of kin. He's going down. I forgot he used to wear the actual sneakers.
I feel like Cena's calling this match.
He calls every match.
Like the full match.
Yeah. That's fine. He'll call the match on Sunday, too. Or Saturday, I should say. He'll call that match, too. That's all right. John Cena has made millions of dollars having the John Cena match. And this is no different. Here he goes again, trying to fight from underneath. The big muscly man is getting sympathy from the audience. Look at the strength. He's about to get to his feet with Orton on his back. Slowly. Which is another thing, too. When you want to pick somebody up who's heavy, you want to get a jump. Like, you want to do it as fast as possible. But in wrestling, you got to do it slowly. I feel like that's worse. Like, to slowly get to your feet and pick him up. Randy Orton is not a little boy. That is a grown 6'5". Here he was felt, so maybe like 250, 260. Now, Grandpa Orton, he's 3 bills now. No
way.
That's what he says. He's been eating. He's about 290.
He's not 300. There's no way
he's 290, 300. That's what they're billing him as. That's what he says. He says he's been eating.
A big boy.
He's a big boy. Yeah, he's got that. Oh, here goes the spot. Shoulder tackle. Shoulder tackle. Boom. Get off. Duck decline. Here goes the spinning. Belly to back. And now can they see him?
And now Cena's match will unfold.
Here we go. Now it's time for the Cena offense. Can they see him? Let's see. The audience is on his feet. They know what's coming next. You can't see me. Now, will he hit it or will it be counted? Shuffle, shuffle, stiff, and bang. Down he goes. Orton with the cell to his
punch.
feet.
He like open hands.
That's it. No, yeah, he used to punch, and then he stiffed so many motherfuckers. I'm just going to slap you now. Fuck it. Whoop, whirly bird into a J-drive. Well, that's what we used to call it back in the day. A little backbreaker action by Randy Orton. Yeah. He took a backbreaker. He's holding his head. John, get it together.
He's exposing this era right now, man. Come on. We just spent a whole hour before this trying to big you up, dude. And you are making us look fucking bad.
I didn't
Not
bank
us.
I didn't bank the whole era on just John. There were other members of that goddamn era. Well, here we go. This is back when he first started doing this, that dangling off the second rope DDT. Bam. Man, he's perfected that. Now he pulls that shit out quick as fuck. And he just drops people. Now we're starting to see the emotion. Not for nothing. I'm watching this match right now. Randy's carrying this fucking match heavy.
100%. I mean, you can argue. See, that's the thing about Cena, right? Like, he's been the babyface.
Right.
So you can argue that's what the heel is supposed to do.
100%. Yeah. He's carrying. Yeah. John's carrying his weight. He's doing what he has to do. He's being the babyface. He's taking heat. He's taking the bumps. But damn, Randy looks fucking great here. Not for nothing. No homo, of course. No, here we go. It's the stalking Orton. The Viper. This is where we start getting closer to our current Randy Orton. He still looks weird with that hair to this day. And he's got way more. I forgot how little, like a little amount of tattoos he had. He's got so many tattoos now.
He's a completely different human
being.
Yeah,
he does. He does look like a completely different human being.
He's even perfected the stalking. The stalking looks so much better.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gimmick bait because he plays into it, but he's still just like a completely different person, man.
I'll give him all the credit in the world. He's looking good. There now, John's on the outside. Randy Orton now. I like that too. I like the idea of the powdering out. That's pretty good. I'm digging that. Going after each other, doing real heel shit. Just trying to stay on top of him. Don't let him breathe. Randy Orton. This is more. This is a really good example, not for nothing. If you want to criticize the wrestling, I'm all for it. I mean, everything is subjective, but god damn, like the psychology of babyface heel. Bad guy working the match with the fucking good guy. Like, this is it right here. They're not doing anything that is overtly crazy. No one has gone over the top rope yet. There's a cover by Randy. No one's put anybody through a table yet. They're just having a fucking wrestling match right now. I got to give it to them. I don't know if it's going to be like this. I tell you what, it's not going to be like this on Saturday.
No.
I'll tell you that right now.
Because I think matches are wrestled different today.
Yeah, and I think they understand that. They're going to have to bring something a little different. I don't know
if they've brought
old school.
A little bit more. It's definitely, the wrestling is definitely a little bit quicker.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to move quick. Randy, I think, can keep up with the quicker guys. John, no way.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I think that time has passed for him.
Well, I mean, what time? We're looking in his prime right now. It's moving pretty fucking slow.
Well, he was moving his speed. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not gonna give him too much shit for this era. Well, no, I'm not gonna give him too much shit for the era right now. Like, he's a damn near 50-year-old man. I don't expect him to do what he's doing here. And there are these punches.
He punched him right in his shit.
Now we're gonna.
That was all. You saw that?
Stiff shot.
That was all. He hammer fist him dead in his face.
I love Randy's superplex, an homage to his father. That was his father's finishing maneuver. But
was it?
Old cowboy Bob Orton, yeah, superplex. That was a big move back in the day. What the old timers used to call a high spot back then. And now he's going for it here. John knows it's coming. He's going to break it down. And he shoves old Orton off the top.
Bruh.
Oh, what was that? That might have been too quick a sell by Randy. He got right to his fucking feet. But that leg drop, boy, deadly shit.
I don't know, man. I might have to revisit this era, man.
You're gonna find.
I might have to revisit and watch some. So at least like maybe some of the pay-per-views and stuff. Cause
if you want,
I feel like I want to argue now.
Okay, I got matches I could show you from this era that are way out. Okay,
this just could be because of what we argue when we see Cena, right? Like this was prime. This is Cena that we argue with all the time. Where like he doesn't lose the match. They're boring matches. Like I'm not saying this is the most boring match I've ever seen, but right. I feel like Orton is doing all the fucking lifting here.
There goes the stock again. Yeah, I just wanted to jump on something before this weekend. If you're looking for defense of the Ruthless Aggression Era, Papa, I got you. I got matches.
We might have to do something.
I got matches for you, my guy.
Because your argument's looking kind of fucking weak right now. Dude, come on. Like, let's do something.
He's stalking. He's going for the punt. There it is. He's going for the punt. He's going to pump this man's head in the next week. Man, I missed the punt. Not everybody could sell that, though. Here we go. Boom, he's out of the way. Nope, he avoids it. Boom, drop toe hold. He's going for the STFU. Now we're getting ready to go home. We're doing finishing sequences now. We're getting ready to take it home, brother. There goes the STFU. Rip it back. Pull back on that hold. You know, it's funny. I look back on this match right here. You just said it yourself. I agree with you. I feel like Randy's doing a whole lot in this match. Imagine when Cena would get in the ring with guys like Shawn Michaels. Jesus Christ. Shawn had to be in there with John for a full fucking hour. Doing that. Look at
what are their
biceps.
They're not going to talk shit on him, though.
They're not going to talk shit on who? On John?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the grab of the rope. He's getting the hell out of that hold for sure.
Truly feel about their experience with some of his matches
with wrestling, John?
Yeah. No, with John Cena in general.
There's the out of nowhere, the RKO, baby. That shit is still to this day crisp as fuck. He hit Joe Hendry with a fucking beauty like the other fucking day. He is still doing that RKO. And the funny thing is he was out for a year, with the back injury, right? He had the back injury for forever, and he's still knocking that shit down. Oh, I know he's going to hit a pretty one. I'm fucking John Cena. He said he's not going to win the match, but I just want to see, imagine they have a better match Saturday than this one. That'd be interesting to see.
Oh, they're going to 1,000%.
No, I think you're really overestimating. John, the attitude adjustment, baby. 1, 2, that's it. That's all it took was that one finish. It's over. I think the finishers have more power to them when you catch them unsuspectingly. When they don't see the finish coming, it hurts more. So John Cena will go ahead and win this matchup. He retains the WWE Championship against Randy Orton. So Randy is pissed. He's beating his head onto the mat. John always has this face like he just escaped. He used to do the same shit when he wrestled like guys like Umaga and shit, like monsters, like guys who physically dominated him in the match. He always has that face like he just got by. He just scraped by. Like, damn.
After this one, your boy was right, man. The Attitude Era. We went Attitude Era to this era, unironically, when we did this last time.
Just for that, I'm gonna put on.
The first one was fucking nonstop action, dude.
Was that Brett and Austin?
Yeah. Hall of Fame match.
I got.
I'll never see this one in the Hall of Fame.
I'm gonna wait a little bit. Actually, we've reached the end of this video here. John Cena wins. I'm gonna wait a little bit before we do another watch along. Let it breathe. But I have a match in mind that I'm telling you right now. It's gonna be a little bit different.
From now on, we gotta start bringing some crazy shit, and that's what I was saying before. Like, we need to do some outside of the box shit, like lucha off of the fucking announcement they made. We gotta watch some crazy lucha.
Oh, you want to drop some
something.
AAA in here? We can do that.
That'd be fire.
That would okay. So I'm gonna bring. You know what, man? You got the creative juices flowing right now. I'm about to make a list, nigga. We're gonna do like one a month, something like that. We'll just pick. I got you. I'm hyped right now. And we're gonna mix it up because I'm gonna show you an Attitude Era match that I will support my argument. I'm looking at you, Gangrel versus Ken Shamrock. This is happening now. We all suffering now. That's it. So that's the end of our watch along there with Randy Orton, John Cena. Big weekend for Backlash. Also big weekend for all you mothers out there. It is Mother's Day weekend. Mother's Day obviously landing on Sunday. Last weekend was Steph's birthday, so we did a whole birthday weekend. Now we got to do a whole Mother's Day weekend. So she's getting spoiled at the wazoo. Right now, it's all mama's time right now, but that's okay because June comes Father's Day, and the weather gets warmer. So
and we get to barbecue.
Yeah, wait, you barbecuing?
No, but that's what we get.
Oh,
we get to cook for everyone.
Well, I want a barbecue though. It's like I want to cook for everybody.
That's what they want you to think you want.
That's what the beer is telling me I should do. I start drinking at cookouts, and the beer goes, nigga, grab that spatula. Get in here and figure this out. Go ahead and grab the Mrs. Dash.
Get in there with a spatula like an asshole. Like, this is catered, buddy. What are you doing?
Grab some of that Salt Bay right there. Get some of that Old Bay in there. Let's get some seasonings in here. Let's get this ground meat grounded up. You know what I'm saying? Let's turn this bitch down. So Mother's Day is this weekend. So good show. Lots of fun. Can't wait to edit this motherfucker up. And what was I going to say about the... Oh, yeah. So we have... This is episode 306. Obviously, this weekend's Mother's Day. Not a lot going on with that. I'm going to be doing a lot of, obviously, family stuff at that point. But I wanted to, as we end the show here, I wanted to kind of pitch an idea. I don't know just what we're going to be doing it on. But I would like to go live again next month, June. We'll discuss more information on that. But I just kind of wanted to gauge, not gauge, but I wanted to let you know, like, I don't want to fall off from that. I think we did, like, a really cool job at WrestleMania. I don't want to wait till SummerSlam to do something. So, and it's not going to be Money in the Bank. It's not going to, I don't even know if it's going to be wrestling related. I just want to have people on the show and just have a fucking fun-ass conversation. But we'll figure it out. So, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for downloading. Thank you guys for sharing. And, of course, thank you guys for enjoying. This is episode 306. We will see you next week.
Mic drop. Wait a minute. This is too much. Cooking it like a pro. Wrap it up, everybody. Show's over.